Well, welcome to Carroll College. Appreciate everybody showing up this morning. We've got a great announcement for you. And at this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Cech, President of Carroll College.
Thank you, Director Gross, and thanks for being here. This is a really exciting day for Carroll College. In fact, it's a homecoming. We have a saint returning to Carroll College, and that saint is Troy Purcell. Troy, come on up. This has been it's been an interesting week. On Monday, I began the first day of my 7th month as president of this college. And when I applied for the job, no one said that you would be trying to replace a legend, Mike Van Diest. And, but, you know, we've been working on that. And I think we found a pretty darn good person to step into those big shoes. Hiring a football coach is probably a bigger deal than hiring a president of a college. As I've reflected back on the last few weeks, this little thing in my pocket has been red hot with tweets, with phone calls, with emails, some as late as last night. And the comments, and you know, it's a small world, it's a small community, and so I think folks got word that Troy was a candidate. And this morning I was just reviewing the comments that I received, and they were quite amazing. And I just want to read a few to you. Mr. Troy Purcell brings a strong Catholic education from Carroll and is a winner, as witnessed by his involvement in the winning programs wherever he has coached. As a football player at Carroll, he already has the ability, the desire, and understanding of the Carroll family to continue our winning tradition. He gets it. That was one message I received. Another one, Troy is a great son, husband, father, and mentor. He will be a great addition for Carroll College. He will be a shining example of the mission of the college and will be a positive influence on our culture we are trying to create with our student athletes. Here's another one. Troy clearly knows Montana football in his many years at all levels, but for the last 3 years, he has been heavily involved with the recruiting for an NCAA Division I program. This recruiting area closely corresponds to Carroll's range, the Western U.S., and emphasis on the Northwest. And then Director Gross checked references, on and off references. And some of the comments he received were skilled at creating a positive community, honest and hardworking, takes care of people, team members, students, and his colleagues. He loved kids, and kids loved him, both his football players and students in his class. A person that sees the positive and teaches to minimum negativity. Wants to present solutions to problems. Managed assistant coaches very well. And another person said she has 4 boys and would want Troy to coach them all. So, Director Gross, who chaired the search committee, thank you. Members of the search committee, and if you could stand if you were on the search committee, just stand for a second, or if you're already standing, wave your hand. But let's give them a round of applause. I think this search committee did a fantastic job. And let's give our athletic director a round of applause. He does an amazing job. And let's give our coaching staff for the football department, raise your hands if you're on the coaching staff for the football department. Let's give them a huge round of applause. And most importantly, if you're a football player, please stand or raise your hands if you're already standing. If you're a football player, stand. Stand up. Let's give them a round of applause. So without further ado, welcome Director Charlie Gross to the platform.
Just over 3 weeks ago, after the retirement of our Hall of Fame coach, Mike Van Diest, the football team met in its entirety in this room on that same evening. They were facing the stark reality that for the first time in 20 years, there was going to be a new leader of the Fighting Saints. The purpose of that meeting was organizational in nature, but more importantly, it was to gather a list of qualities and wants they wanted to see in their next head coach. The room was quiet for a while, wasn't it, guys? But over the course of a few minutes and our conversation, more comments were being made. And as the players shared ideas and gave their thoughts, you could just feel the shape of the future of Carroll football being formed by that group. Fast forward today, to today, 3 weeks later, and through the writing of a position profile, the creation of a search committee that had representation from the athletic department, from the academic staff, faculty, the president's cabinet, the board of trustees, the current football program, football alumni, and our community, the evaluation of a large pool of candidates, the video screening of a short list of candidates, the actual interview of candidates on campus by the head coaches, athletic training staff, screening committee, advancement office, representatives of the football team, Dr. Cech, and myself. And finally, after dozens of reference calls, I stand here before you with great confidence that we are introducing to you a coach in Troy Purcell that will lead Carroll football's tradition of success to new heights. Before I ask Troy to come to the podium and speak, I want to share with you what I've learned about Troy in this process. Yes, his roots are here in Helena. He's a Capitol High grad. But these roots were nourished by his time here at Carroll. And through the process, he continued to express the excitement about the opportunity to provide that nourishment to our current students. By talking to his former players, the measure of success goes well beyond the mini conference titles, the 4 state championships, the 4 touchdowns your special teams scored this year at the University of Idaho, but it extends into the impact of the hundreds of lives of football players in the states of Oregon, Idaho, and Montana. Honesty, sincerity, care, and concern are consistently demonstrated in the relationships he builds with students. And I saw that it extends beyond just his football players. As I walked him across campus on Monday morning, the jubilation of former PE students that he actually had at Bozeman High School to see him here on campus and the excitement they had to talk to him was reassuring about the relationships that he builds. Those who coached with him and those who played for him acknowledge that he sets high standards, that he's tough, that he expects accountability. But they also said he's able to achieve these things through positive motivation and clear communication. With all of this being said, I'm very excited to be able to turn over the leadership and the direction of Carroll College football to Troy Purcell. Troy, come on up here.
Wow, that was overwhelming. That is, just very, very exciting. Thank you very much, Dr. Cech, Mr. Gross, for giving me this opportunity. Selection committee, outstanding. I'm just, a little kid a long time ago, used to go to the Carroll games and had a chance to stand on the sidelines and you just knew once you went to C.R. Anderson, you went to Capitol High, and your next step was go to Carroll College. And Coach Petrino gave me that opportunity, and it's just been an exceptional, great opportunity to come here and to learn from him and to be a part of this great college and the mission that it represents. I also wanted to thank the selection committee and thank the people that helped me, the old Saints and the new Saints. Coming together and everybody working together to make this thing happen. And I just really appreciate that, and we're going to have some great things come to, great things are in the shaking here, okay? And I'm just very, very, very excited about that. I want to thank my mom. She's here today, and let's give her a hand. And my wife, she couldn't be here. My wife, Krista, and my daughter, Brooklyn, they had some other obligations they had to make sure they took care of. And, that's just part of, being a person of character and making sure they're taking care of their obligations. And, there was, some tough times this year. I lost my dad this year, and Coach Petrino passed away this year. But I know there's two men up there right now with big smiles on their faces, knowing this opportunity is available and where the direction of the program is going. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, pretty exciting. Excited again to spread the mission of Carroll College and continue the tradition of excellence here. I got big shoes to fill. My gosh, I don't know if there's ever been two more Hall of Fame incredible coaches, as in Coach Bob Petrino and Coach Mike Van Dies. Coach Petrino gave me an opportunity, like I said before, and I was a try-hard kid. Probably wasn't the best talented kid in the world, but football you can kind of get away with a little bit with extreme effort and hard work. And I just remember, walking up and down these halls and living it and bleeding out on that field and sweating on the field just like you guys are. And having that, where I can relate to what you're going through, as a football player out on that field. And Coach Petrino was, he was teaching me the offensive line as I was taking my first job at Regis High School in State Oregon, and he's banging me against the walls and everything else in his house. And Paul Petrino's in here showing me option football and teaching me all the steps. And I've just been fortunate also with, having a friend like Paul and be able to hang out with him and Bobby Petrino and having him mentor me along the way and learning from them. It's just been outstanding. And then having him give me the opportunity to coach at the Division I level, that set me up for this job and giving me that opportunity to teach me and mentor me along the way. If you don't live it, it's hard to teach it. And I had a fortunate to be able to live it for the last 3 years, so it's been great. Again, Coach Petrino just given me so much, and Coach Van Dies, man, I love listening to him. I love when he come into our, and recruit the players out of Bozeman, and just seeing his face and his smiling and that toughness. He's a tough man, and he gets a lot out of his players, and it's unbelievable what those two gentlemen did in the last 48 years at Carroll College. Like I said, I don't know if there's another college anywhere with this much success with two individuals, in that amount of time period. And I'm, again, just very excited about the challenge and the excitement of continuing that tradition of excellence. Right now, I hit the ground running, rolled in last night, and now I got an opportunity to start meeting these guys. And I'm so excited to get to know you guys. And one thing about it, man, I don't know anything about you, you know what I mean? And we're going to get to know each other. I'm going to watch some huddle on you, and we're going to talk to the other coaches and this and that. But whatever you want to show, okay, whatever you want to show, because you're brand new to me, you can prove yourself and be a starter on this just as easy as the starter was last year. Okay, so your effort and attitude, okay, is going to shine, and we're going to have some great things, and we're going to move forward. And I see you guys all sitting there. You guys are excited. I hope you guys are excited. We'll have a meeting tonight at 7 o'clock, and we'll start the process and get it going. But again, just very, very excited about this opportunity. Again, I want to thank everybody, and it's just been unbelievable to be able to come full circle and see all the friends and family and everybody coming together. So thank you.
So now we'll open it up to questions from media. Just ask that media members are acknowledged before they start asking questions, and we'll start firing away. Brian, go ahead.
Troy, Ryan Keenan, the independent record. Talk about your brand of football and what are you going to bring on the field here at Carroll, specifically, your offense, defense, your type of style.
It's going to be the offense is going to be based on our quarterback and what his strengths are, and we'll build our offense around, like I said, his strengths. And so, but I'm multiple. I've coached pro style type quarterbacks, coached option style type quarterbacks, and so we got good plans for both of those. I like to be wide open. I like to take shots. I like to have fun. You know what I mean? And get after it. Kids like it. You know what I mean? It's explosive. I want an explosive offense. Fourth quarter, if you got to, you might have to run the wind there to, finish the game up and things like that. But you got to be successful running the ball. But like I said, I love being explosive and not a lot of tendencies. I like to change things up quite a bit. Defensively, we're going to be sound, gap sound. If we're pretty good, I'm just going to let those guys play. You know what I mean? If we need to create some stuff sometimes, then you got to go ahead and send some pressures. Again, just a lot of game planning and understanding when they're going to go ahead and run their screen game. Is going to base what you're going to see at certain parts of the on the field and on what down and distance. But it should be wide open. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, and it's going to be good.
But
thought process when you saw this come open was this always a dream job looking forward to be a head coach at any college, or you already at Division I? So what was your career path goals when you saw this?
Right when the people were talking about this at my dad's funeral, actually, even before Coach Van Dies, if he ever did retire, if I would be interested. And this has always been a dream job. This is my dream job, to come back to Carroll College, to give back to the guys. How Coach Petrino and the coaching staff there helped me along, made me become a strong leader and a man of character. And, so giving back to to Carroll College was given so much to me. And again, this is a dream job for me to be able to come back. It's the only job I would even look at. People were asking about this other job and this and that, and I said, no, it's either Carroll or Coach Petrino. Paul's going to be stuck with me for a long time. So it's a dream job for sure.
Sam with Montana Sports and KTVH. Looking forward, is this kind of a position where you're looking to kind of fill Van Die's shoes or kind of pave your own path?
You can't fill those two legendary coaches' shoes. You know what I mean? I got to pave my own path, and build on the success that they've had. They're unbelievable coaches. I mean, it's they're so fun just to listen to. Those type of coaches, you just listen. You never talk. You just listen, and you try to absorb as much as you can from them, and try that to help you become a better coach and a better person. And so you just gotta there's no way to replace them. I'm not them. So you got to go my own way, and with the continuing excellence that they set the standard for. And that's the ultimate goal is continue the tradition of excellence here.
Slim.
Slim Kill, MontanaSports.com. What was the conversation like with Coach Petrino at Idaho when you let him know that you were interested in this job?
I think, excited. This is one place where, we spent a lot of time together, and, just excited about this opportunity, an opportunity for my family. With my wife's, Susan and Jerry Watney here, my mother and father-in-law and her family and everybody, aunts and uncles and everybody here. A lot of opportunity to, rekindle some old, where you don't get to see them very much. And, when my dad passed away, it kind of showed also that, time goes by fast, and, spending time with family and friends is, very important. And, but he was excited for me, kind of bittersweet, doesn't want to lose me, and it's pretty fun being able to look across the table and see my old friend, and after 25 years, and keep learning from him and learning from that staff, and again, I can't thank him enough for giving me that opportunity. And so we, close the door in the office, and we can kind of go back to our old times and talk, and more friend to friend instead of boss to, to employee. So, but it's he wants what's best for me and what's best for my family for sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll go again. Any timeline on what you were expecting as far as finalizing your staff? Is that in your control, or is that these guys?
No, I think right now I want to get to know these guys. I want to know what they're feeling, what they're about. The existing players that are here, and that's we're going to be, we're going to be tight. You know what I mean? So it's time to get to know them. The next process is get out there and get recruiting. They got small windows to, grab those kids and make an impression and sell the program in Carroll College. And so the recruiting trail, I'm going to be out probably starting tomorrow, or maybe even starting tonight, and heading up to. Anyway, so we'll start the process there, and then, yeah, exactly. So, and then we'll go ahead, and I'm going to make some, talk to the existing staff, outstanding group of guys. There's a reason why they won 6 national championships and everything, and a successful program here, and they know what it takes to win. And so evaluate, the current staff, and then start looking at some external staff candidates that I'm looking at, and just kind of develop and start bringing this whole this puzzle together and formulating a program.
Troy, do you feel any pressure to win right away with, coming after Mike Van Dees and 6 national championships, or do it might be a process?
It's always a process. There's always going to be a ripple here and there, and I get that, and the winning to me is, it took me a little while to figure it out, and the wins will take care of themselves if you just take care of today. And you just get better today, because everybody in the nation saying what? I want to win a national championship. We're going to win one. And then 3 of the guys go out the door instead of getting down in the weight room, because they didn't take care of today. So once you take care of today, everything else will take care of itself. If you don't take care of today, then there's not even talking about national championships, conference championships, and everything else if you don't take care of today. So it's a me-rat attitude. Maximum effort required at this time. Let's just get better today. Let's not worry about yesterday, okay? And then don't worry about tomorrow. Let's just get better today and keep moving forward. And if we get better and we lose during a Saturday game, I'm all right with that. I'm all right. If we give great effort and we're getting better, by the end, the season, we're going to be okay. So the winning and loss, I know that's, but they'll take care of themselves with great effort and proper attitude and character and toughness.
Captain?
You may have mentioned it a little bit already, but what are you most looking forward to, looking towards the next days, weeks, months being here at Carroll?
Yeah, again, I'm just really excited to get to know these guys and get that staff generated, get out to the community and the fundraising and the old Saints and the new Saints and start. There's a lot of fun ideas and a lot of exciting things that are going to start to develop, and then just kind of make those ties in the community and bring a spark and. Again, it's just get that recruiting. We got to get that recruiting and get the guys we want and fill some gaps here and there. And again, get to know these guys. There's a great group of guys here, and I'm just excited to get to know them.
Go ahead, Sam.
Coming from University of Idaho, obviously it's a little bit bigger of a school, and since Carroll is such a tight-knit community, you've got fans coming to your press conference looking forward to seeing you on the field. Do you anticipate the community vibe kind of being similar here, or will it kind of be more of a tight-knit feel?
I think on any program you'll have that tight-knit feel, because there's a lot of people that are very engaged with with the college, with the universities, with the program, and so I think you'll always have that tight-knit family, and that's what you need to be successful. I always, it takes a team, it takes a group of individuals to have a successful program, and people are just happen to be sitting in different chairs at the table, you know what I mean? And so, but it takes everybody there and everybody buying into the process and believing in the process, and so it takes all of us And if you ever think it's just one person, then, man, maybe you better get out of this, because it takes quite a bit. I mean, you can lead in this, but when it comes down to it, man, it just takes everybody together as a fist, and coming together with players and the training staff and athletic, with Mr. Gross and Dr. Cech, and everybody working together to make a solid program.
Well, I'll give you one more, we can close out with it. Which figures have been most influential in your development as a coach? We heard in a press release from Mark Mariani, from Tom McMahon, and from Paul Petrino, but which other figures have led you to the coach you've become today?
I just, as in players or as in mentor coaches that have developed me? Yeah, I mean, Coach Jim Tuss, he was, at Capitol High there, and him and Coach Petrino were real tight, and they were, 32 counter dive was the same for Columbia Payne as it was for Carroll College. So that tradition all the way down, Columbia Payne's a small fry football, and over there at the fairgrounds, that's what we were back in the old days. And so that relationship with Coach Tuss and how to mentor and being around, Coach Tuss and Walt Chauncey and Chance Perlicka and all the great guys that were, down there, and Dan Dietzen, and I can go on and on and on. And then having that relationship and being around Coach Petrino, and I was fortunate because I got to be around him a lot. Spend a night in his basement, and back in the old days, and this and that, when me and his son would go out to a movie or something like that, and then so I had a lot of opportunity to spend time with Coach Petrino and that staff, and Rick Wells and Steve Jones, and there's a lot of guys here that you develop that family and that oneness, and just. I can't, besides Coach Petrino and my family, my dad and my mom, learning that how to be a man and how to be character and do things right. That was ingrained with me from day one, and then just absorbing everything that I could possibly learn from every coach and every person that I can see, and write it all down and think about it and evaluate it. So there's been just a tremendous amount of people that have influenced. And going from Class B football to Class A football to Double A, I got to learn all those coaches, and Coach Gear and Coach King from Malta, and there's just an unbelievable amount of success out there, and the proper way to do things, and how to run programs and how to treat people, and just learning along the way. And lifelong learner, you just got to continue and keep your mind open, and continue to try to get outside the box, because it's an ever-changing game, and kids are ever-changing. They're how they're thinking about things, and so just that continuation of being a lifelong learner is very beneficial.
Very good. Let's hear one more time for Carroll College's next head coach, Troy Purcell.
Thank you.
I just want to let everybody know that as we work out Troy's recruiting schedule, and he truly is getting on the road, we know specifically tomorrow, we will be working out a time to have a meet and greet sponsored by the Saints Athletic Association and the Quarterback Club, and we will get notice out, and the intention is for this to take place before the holidays yet, so that our community can meet Troy and reintroduce themselves to him. With that, it truly is a great day to be a Saint. Thank you for coming.